not understand. Because a lot of people think that, you know, a Kraken or a Whale or a free-to-play game,
Right.
someone who likes to play pay-to-play,
Mm-hmm.
will just pay no matter what.
Why?
And that's just not true.
Yeah, wait, what? Why would they do that? That doesn't make any sense.
Well, because a lot of people think, oh, well, if you're paying for the game, you're just, like, if you're paying to get all this stuff in the game, you're just gonna keep paying, you know? Like, you don't care what's happening to everyone else, because you can just pay to ignore it.
Right.
Like, yeah, but the thing is, typically, because the way a free-to-play game's supposed to work, right?
Right.
Is that, I'm just gonna use as an example, say Doom, the character,
Okay.
becomes available in this game.
Right.
Which he is, but I'm gonna use a different example, like as becomes available in the game. Everyone technically should be able to get it.
Right.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Pay to win, doesn't matter. Everyone should be able to get it.
Right.
But the cost will be different.
Right.
For someone who is paying to play, they can pay a chunk of money and get him right away.
Right.
Or the free-to-play person can spend their time and get him over the course of time.
Right.
And that's how free-to-play games work.
Right. No, I get that. I know.
And a lot of people don't actually understand that. A lot of people seem to think that when you see a free-to-play or a pay-to-win game or a free-to-play game,
right,
that it means that, oh, all it means is that that guy who can pay is going to pay, and that's it. That the free-to-play person never stands a chance against that person who can pay. Period.
Right, that's the general consensus usually.
But if that's true, then that game is not made correctly, and it won't last. Because if you have a game, so a great example of this is Naruto Online, which might be a bit of a random game for some people.
It is a bit random, yeah. It's kind of random.
But it was a free-to-play Naruto game that was all about team building, much like Marvel Strike Force, but for Naruto.
Okay.
This game did not understand this balance at all.
Okay.
So the way this game worked was you would pull for characters from these packs, right? And every 10 pulls you had a guaranteed like legendary character. The thing was, they started labeling so many characters as legendary characters.
Right.
And they would have pictures of a character on the card pack that wasn't actually in that card pack.
Now that's deceptive as fuck. You can't be doing that shit.
And it got to the point where you, as a free-to-play person, you know, the only way you're going to pull from these packs, which was the only way to get characters, was to save up the little amount of currency you could earn from getting as far as you could, fighting against paid money, and trying to win there. Or bullying another free-to-play player, lower level.
Right.
And trying to make some bit of the skills there, and then you gain up enough skills and you go into the hole. Well, a big thing that was an issue in that community was, one, the pull rates. They would lie about the pull rates consistently.
Well, that's
They'd
bad.
be like, oh yeah, we're dropping, you know, Kane, and Kane drops this weekend, and he will be a 400 pull, 400 seal pull rate. You have to spend 400 seals to pull.
Okay.
And then we would actually get to the day, and a bunch of people who did spend money would start pulling first.
Okay.
So that the free-to-play people wouldn't, because they didn't want them wasting their seals, because as we found out a lot, it would actually be closer to about 1,200 seals.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Now the question is, how do you know if they're intentionally lying or if someone fucked up the math?
Oh, we found out because of their associates, because of people who were in the, like, hey, reach out to the community program.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, you come on board and we'll give you a heads up on stuff you're doing, and you make it sound good to the community. Essentially, a lot of companies do this, where it's even Scopely does it, where you get an influencer, someone who plays the game on YouTube or Twitch, and you go, hey guys,
sure,
we like the game, you like the game, we know there's some issues with the game. We want you to be our ambassador. Both our ambassadors to the players and the players' ambassadors to us. That way we have a way of communicating that's focused, not just people shouting.
Sure.
And in theory, it's really great. And with Scopely, we've had some good moments.
That's good.
People like Rem and Mobile Gamer, and a lot of the guys who are, associates, they have actually talked, Scopely into going, okay, maybe we fucked up. Maybe we made a few times, which is good.
Yeah, well, everyone makes mistakes. That's not unsurprising. I'm not going to be shocked that a studio fucks something up at this point.
No, it's more of a, we're just happy that they actually listen when they do most of it.
Right.
Because that's the big thing. It's like, just, acknowledge your mistake and we can all move on. It's when you don't acknowledge it that we have a problem.
Right.
And so, what was happening was, with Naruto Online, they would tell their guys, they're like, hey, this character's dropping. Here's how many fucking polls it's gonna take. It's gonna take like 800 polls. We're telling the community it's gonna be 4. We want you to tell the community it's gonna be 400.
Oh.
And the people who were, in the associate program, because the associate program on fucking Naruto Online 2 was fucking hard. Like, they ran that shit. Because they were fucking like, one, that community was, if you're not the top guy, why should I watch your shit?
That's nuts. That's not very nice.
So, yeah.
I mean, that's how Twitch works anyway, but,
For the few guys that were on top, they were doing anything to stay on top.
Right.
And if you happen to become an associate for the company, for Oasis Games, they would slip you a couple thousand fucking seals. They'd slip you some of the ingots, the pay-to-win currency.
Oh boy.
So they would essentially buy off the ambassadors to lie to the fan base and be like, hey, tell them it'll cost more.
Well, damn.
And then...
Well, can't you, as one of the inside men, just be like, oh, I guess they lied to me, guys, fuck them, and you still get all the benefit? Like, right?
Because you're not allowed to talk shit.
Well, then you just be like, I guess they were wrong. Well, how do you not talk bad about a company if the facts say that they did something wrong? You're like, okay, I'm an inside guy. They told me that it would be 4. Looks like they didn't. It wasn't actually 4.
Inside guys literally would just go, oh, there must be a glitch. Something must have went wrong. I don't know what's going on. But I tell you, it's not supposed to be like this.
Right. You say they said 4, and therefore everyone would interpret.
Yeah, you lie. You lie to the community. You lie to our faces.
Ugh.
When you're supposed to be our ambassador of the company. And this came out because one of the fucking ambassadors got fucking sick and tired of it.
Sure.
And lost his shit. And essentially fucking whistle blew on the entire company.
Well, good for him.
Game.
No, good for him. I'm really actually happy. I'm fine with that.
He didn't just whistle blow to the community, though. He whistle blew to their parent company.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's probably a bad idea.
Their parent company got involved.
I started watching Daredevil, and I wouldn't fuck with evil corporations. I don't know.
So, it was a huge thing because he, on live stream, right, it was a live event drop. He comes on, and right off the bat, because I think he was named that Minato.
Damn.
Which is Naruto's dad. And it was this big event. It was going to be this great character. We're all super excited. He came out, and he literally goes, "Don't fucking spend any seals." The pull rate is 3 times what they're telling. And
my
they
God.
know it, and they've been doing it on purpose. He's like, I have phone calls recorded proving that they said they've been doing it on purpose, that they've been changing pull rates.
So, after he got fired, did they do anything to him?
No, he wasn't fired yet.
Really?
He still worked for them.
Oh, that's strange, actually.
Yeah.
I would think they'd fire him.
Get it out because he didn't have a platform as long as he was still working for us. So he waited until the biggest poll of the year and used it as a way to expose them for everything they had done. So during one of the biggest fucking polls of the year, he started fucking going off, just telling the community everything live. And these are things the community had been theorizing for months. That, you know, Oasis had been blocking us, that they've been lying poll rates because of what we were seeing, and, you know, you can only fuck up a poll so many times. You know, it's a little weird when it, you know, oh, you happen to have another, you know, miscalculation on the poll rates. Oh, it happens that when I spend money, I don't pull as well as when I don't.
Mineral field depleted.
I see.
So, like, the community was already suspicious about all this stuff, and then to have one of their inside guys come out and just go, "No, it's all true. No, it's 100% true. Fuck these guys." And midway through the call, he gets disconnected.
Right.
He gets disconnected. The stream goes down. And the next time we hear from him, he's got an NDA that's got him fucking. He can't talk about the game at all.
Why did he sign an NDA?
Because they essentially were gonna sue him for everything he's been doing. And Oasis was a big enough company to undo. So as far as we're aware, because he also wasn't allowed to, according to him, not allowed to talk about the court case that proceeded or anything involving the game. So it literally was just all of a sudden, one of these guys who just, or the guy who just ratted out this company,
right,
suddenly can't talk about it.
Ew.
At all.
That makes the company look worse, though, doesn't it? I mean...
Oh, yeah, it did. And there was a huge outpouring of fucking rage from the community.
Right.
This is why I'm using Naruto Online as an example for what I'm seeing in MSF.
Sure.
Was the community got pissed, people was calling out. People were calling blood, too. And people were like, I want the entire US Oasis games to be fired. I want them to lose their